Good afternoon. Welcome to the July edition of the Prevent Child Abuse New York newsletter. We're so happy that you're paying attention to these issues. We think there's a lot of great stuff that's going on. We're especially excited to talk with you about some of the legislative issues that have come up over the last weeks, and we think there's some really good, promising things happening for kids related to that work. It is 4th of July time, and so Prevent Child Abuse would like to wish all of you a happy 4th of July. We hope that your celebrations with family and friends go very, very well. We here at Prevent Child Abuse are especially grateful to be a part of this country and all of the various things that this country has stood for a number of years. In particular, we have paid close attention over the last year, or a little better, to this issue of what's happening for children who arrive at our borders and then are separated from their families. In the state of New York in particular, one of the successes over this legislative session had to do with providing ongoing support for children that were separated at the border and then ended up in the state of New York, placed in facilities here. That piece of legislation is particularly important because it fortifies children and surrounds them with at least a level of protection related to the services that are available to them and cannot be withdrawn from them in the state of New York, especially services like mental health, access to mental health services, legal protections. We believe that those are critical things that children, regardless of their immigration status, need to be supplied with and protected with in our society. So we really appreciate the work that's been done legislatively around that, especially to folks like Andy Hevesy, who has really stood for that work. A couple of items that are related to that legislatively, especially because much of that work for young children, immigrant children, has been related to this idea of adverse childhood experiences and what trauma does to the lives of children. We also had a couple of bills that Prevent Child Abuse was very proud to be a part of writing and then supporting as they went through the legislative process. One of those bills is related to the work with domestic violence shelter workers and ensuring that those staff are able to receive training on ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, as well as protective factors and resilience. We are so glad that NISCADIV, our strong partner in the domestic violence world, partnered with us on that work, and we're happy to report that made it through the session. It's on its way to the governor's desk. Also, very closely akin to that work is a similar bill on early childhood providers' ability to access and get credits for adverse childhood experiences training and resilience training as well. Those two bills paired together with the work around immigrant children, we think is a fantastic start on really building and making sure that we have a trauma-informed legislature, an ACEs-informed legislature. That is a dream that Prevent Child Abuse has, and we welcome you to partner with us in that work as we move forward into next year's session. The final piece that I'd like to talk about is related to the Hoyt Memorial Trust Fund. And that trust fund actually is designed to fund a variety of prevention activities around the state. The Office of Children and Family Services is the administrator of that fund. They actually support a number of community-based organizations that we also partner with. We are thrilled to say that the legislature passed a bill that would create a tax checkoff system so that for individuals who would like to donate to the Hoyt Trust Fund, which equals donating to child abuse prevention in this state, for those people who would like to do that directly on their taxes, they will have that available. So we really appreciate your partnering with us and working with us around all of those issues. Again, have a happy 4th, and we'll see you next month.